What's going on, Locos y Locas? Welcome back to, I think this is episode 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, this 6, right? Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're still sitting at 29 subscribers right now. Last time I checked the analytics, though, I think it was like 51 or 50% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed. So make sure you guys do that if you enjoy the content.
Yes.
Today we got another video from Jubilee. This is
that
Rich
what we
versus
watched?
Poor. Is the economy rigged?
Is that what we watched?
No, but I think we've done a Jubilee video. It was just a different, or maybe we might not have done a Jubilee video. I can't remember. I don't remember. Oh no, the other one was Truly. That's what it was. It was Truly TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But so I guess we got a Jubilee video today. Like I said, it's Rich versus the Poor. They're gonna kind of give their opinions on, you know, what they do. I guess what kind of work they do, how they feel about the economy, and so on and so forth.
Being poor is a choice.
What?
Huh?
I do not want to be disingenuous to ignore systemic issues that we all experience, but I feel like it's 2021 and there's a lot of free resources. I mean, Facebook has a lot of free courses. I think that poor is also a mindset.
I agree. Originally, when I came out here, I started straight at the homeless shelter. I had to flee from domestic violence from my family.
Damn, so she came
Most
from the
people
bottom.
in general don't choose to be poor, but since I've been here, specifically in LA, a lot of people outside, they don't want to come into the shelter because they'd rather be in the tents.
I mean, I grew up poor,
Okay.
so I have been on both sides of the coin.
Okay.
And
What's
I
poor to
can
you, though?
reflect and look back on some of the lifestyle choices that I was
Yeah.
making, some of the people that I was hanging around. So
Yeah.
I don't think that people can initially control if they're born into poverty,
Right.
but I think that there is a certain level of control that comes along with being.
Okay, so far, I understand what she's saying, and I understand, you know, people have choices that they can make to up their standard of living or to up, you know, their income and stuff like that. But it's not an easy argument to just say, oh, well, you have these options, or well, you have this, because not everybody has that option. Some people, like she said, you know, some people would rather stay in the tent than come inside. Me personally, I don't come from money. You know what I'm saying? I came from the hood, you know what I'm saying? I make good money now, but it took a long time to get there, and it took, you know,
Right.
choices on, like, do I want to go here? You know, do I want to work there? You know, should I get paid this? Should I get paid that? It's just, it takes effort, but it's not as easy for some people.
My thing was, she did say a good point. She said that, you know, like, you can't really control being born into it. It's like, bro, you can't decide whether you're gonna be born into a rich ass family or shit, a fucking 2-bedroom, 1-bath, fucking house in Oak Cliff with like fucking 6 cousins and like
Yeah.
3 uncles. Like, you don't get to decide whether how you do it. Do I feel like it's your choice if you want to get out that shit? Fuck yeah, it's your choice. But just because it's your choice doesn't mean it's like, oh yeah, bro, you know, today I'm broke, tomorrow I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like,
Well,
Being able to
Yeah.
have that determination and that resilience. Yeah.
Can I have the disagreeer step forward?
We need to realize that these people are on the street not because of their own choosing, but because of the system that we live in perpetuates these things.
If I could speak to that, I come from a family that once relied on welfare and food stamps, and I've been blessed enough to make millions of dollars in real estate. But had I bought real estate from 2005 to 2008, I'd probably be bankrupt today. I just bought it at the right time.
People wish to be rich, they don't want to be rich. The difference is, do you take action? That being said, I agree with a lot of your points you're making about people not really having the
what he
resources or
said
the opportunity to
about the
have
real
any
estate
kind of
thing?
action plan.
Some people don't even want to be rich. Like, I don't want to be rich. Like, but I also don't want to be poor. I'm happy in the middle.
Shut
and
the
I would
fuck up.
want
He
to
did
live in
not-
a society where
he
they
did
can
not say
perpetuate
that.
people to lift themselves out of poverty through programs and just be in the middle.
what's the middle
Billionaires
though?
should
actually,
I don't.
I was gonna say he was lying about not wanting to be rich, because I'm pretty sure if you ask most people, they would say I'd rather be rich. But I had to stop and think, because some people, not everybody aspires to be great, or not everybody aspires to be rich. There are some people that you know, if they can get by, they, you know, they'll live
They're happy.
comfortably.
They're-
Yeah, as long as they're comfortable, you know, their bills are paid, they got a little bit of extra money, go spend, go buy this, go buy that. I mean, shit. If I had the money to do that, you know, I'd be content. I'd be happy. I wouldn't be content. I'd be happy.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I agree to a certain extent with him. Like, I wouldn't be happy with just, you know, being able to provide, having the shit that I want, like my bills paid. Well, I mean, I already do, so it's not.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I'm happy.
no,
Yeah,
we're
I'm happy.
happy, but we're not content. We
Yeah.
want more.
And like that's my thing. Like I remember for the longest, my mom would always tell me, she's like, it is. ¿Cómo se decía? No es tacaño. Goloso. Goloso. For the longest, she would tell me that I was goloso. And for y'all that don't know what goloso means, it's pretty much like you want more, but in a bad way, if that makes sense.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
I know a different definition of that.
What's your definition?
The definition I was told is that means you're horny. Like you're a horny motherfucker.
No, that's horneado.
No,
Is horneado even a word? I don't even
no,
know.
I've heard goloso being used like that. Like they were, because I asked what it was, and they were like, it means he's like a horny motherfucker.
Actually, don't quote me on that. I'm sorry, but like that's my definition of it. That's what I was assuming.
Well, I mean,
If I'm
you're
wrong-
Salvadorian, so you might
Hey.
have a different definition
Yeah,
for it.
to a certain extent. If y'all have a different definition for goloso, put that shit in the comments down
Yeah.
below. But yeah, goloso to me is like, you know, like you want more in a bad way, but I like
Greedy.
Yeah, you're greedy.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the motherfucking word right there. My thing's more like I wouldn't consider myself greedy. It's just like I know where my parents came from. I know
You just want better.
I just want better.
Exactly.
And like my dad, like his biggest thing growing up was always like, you know, mijo, like I'm trying to give you what I didn't have.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that. But at the same time, it's like he gave me so much. To an extent, I worked for my shit. Don't kill me in the comment section
His
talking about
daddy's
like
money.
yeah, like daddy's money this, daddy's money that. Nah, fuck no. I worked for my shit. But it's more like my dad and my mom provided so much for me that I want to multiply that, and I
Yeah.
want to do more for my future kids.
Yeah.
And shit, hopefully my future kids fucking
Have that
do
same drive.
yeah, and then even do that more. Cause like I mean, my goal is to become wealthy and all that, but you know, if I get to a point where I'm content with my shit, which I probably never will be, because I guess I'm greedy in a sense, I still would want like, you know, better. Cause I don't think like I'm at a point where it's like, bro, we've been down bad, but happy. You know how people say, "Oh, money can't buy happiness."
Yeah.
Bitch, I've been broke and sad. I'd rather cry in a fucking Lamborghini than I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've cried in a fucking piece of shit Honda. I don't give a fuck. I'm crying in a Lambo, bro.
Exist.
No. I mean, yeah, you should.
I don't see how anyone could ever spend $1 billion. It's not a necessity to have that much money, and I feel like there is a certain cap in which, like, you can completely survive and thrive with this amount of money, and then if you surpass that,
But
you're
that's not
just
their fault,
hoarding.
though.
And then we've
That's just
seen what
because they
people
have
with billions of dollars are doing
screens.
with their money. They're going to space for fun. Like,
Right.
clearly, if we
What the
tax those
fuck are they
people
supposed to
properly,
Who is
do?
going
and
to
get their
space for
wealth and
fun,
distribute
bro?
it to people who need it, that'd
But
be
he
a much better
hasn't
use
gone.
than
He's
going
saying
to
that like
space for
multiple
fun.
people are just
They say like it's a trip that you can just take.
Personally,
whenever
I
you
don't think
want.
there's
Like
an
it's a
issue
fucking
with
cruise.
billionaires existing. The issue for me is that they need to be held accountable the same way poor people do. And I'm talking about the
Okay.
justice system.
When you look at a lot of billionaires who have gotten that way because of the just incredible amount of value they've given to society, I won't even talk about a huge, crazy billionaire. I'll talk about Jay-Z, who's a billionaire. He made amazing music. That's how he became a billionaire. And so
No,
I
it's
don't think
not.
it's the government's job to interject and
It's
say,
big
okay,
part of the
you have
reason
too
why.
much, we
It's
need to
big
give it
part,
away.
but
I
it's
mean,
just his
it would
decisions
also never
past
happen in
music.
any other arena.
He
No one's
became a
going to go, hey,
producer,
Simone
shit
Biles,
like that.
you have too many gold medals.
I mean,
we're
I'm
going to
pretty
take
sure
them
he
from
just
you,
didn't
and we're going to
list
give
all
them to
that.
the other people who weren't as talented as you.
I completely agree.
I completely disagree. I feel like that is the government's job. And Jay-Z, like you said, Jay-Z made his money from music. That's his labor. He's a musician. He's selling his talent. But then when he invested in the alcohol, then he's using other people who are harvesting the wheat, the agave. They're breaking their back. They're using their labor.
So do you think that you shouldn't invest in those people? Should they just like say, the hell with your dreams, I'm not going to invest in you?
I'm
What,
saying.
what about the job?
What do you
they're,
mean?
They're having jobs.
They
Yeah,
literally
but how
pay
much are they
their
getting paid for the
jobs.
jobs? Or those jobs in the third world where they're getting paid pennies,
Yeah,
and then
versus
Jay-Z
no
makes
job.
millions off their labor.
How much do you pay your employees?
I don't think he understands.
More than enough?
Like the
He
chain
doesn't
of
invest.
If I may interject,
how
I pay my employees like
the money comes in.
incredibly well, and I let them choose their own hours. Someone who works for me is a single mother. I pay her $50 an hour, and I think that people that are providing jobs and opportunities, you can hate on them all you
Can I go
want, but
work
at the end of the
there?
day, like
Really?
nobody would work
My
that
own
job if
hours?
it wasn't in some way, shape, or form worth it.
People who make $1 billion
I do
get
80
a
hours.
fraction
It's
of the
tired,
value
bro.
they
Cash
pay.
you working
Everybody
24/7.
here who has a business understands that. Even Jay-Z only gets 15 cents a record he sells. Okay?
Yes, that's
So
because he got exploited by the record label who's using his labor
No,
to make
No,
money.
my-
Same
what?
you
thing
keep using this word
when he
exploiting like
invests.
you understand the record business, of which I am in, okay? Record labels back hundreds of artists. Do you know how many go busto? Okay? They're taking risk in an artist by the tapes, paying the engineers, marketing, et cetera. They're exploiting them. They're taking on a bet. And they can't just give everybody 50-50. They'll go bankrupt. You don't understand the record business, and you're just yelling out these words exploiting like you know what you're talking about, but you don't.
That's why
They're not.
I don't think he like fully understands how
The chain, like you said,
the chain of
works.
how the money comes in. Like he's saying, oh, you know, he's using their labor, you know, the people that get the agave, you know, woo. Like, bro, that's how they get paid. Like investors, they invest into a company to help that company, you know, achieve the goals that they've set forth. And also the money that they give them is kind of like a loan. It's like, hey, I'm gonna give you X amount of money so you can, you know, pay your workers, pay for your so they can pay for their materials. Like the money that they give them, they use to pay for everything else that they need to keep that company running. And he doesn't understand that goes all the way. Like maybe not all of it, cause say they gotta buy the material, they gotta, you know, buy other stuff first. But some of that money does go and pay the workers.
I understand where he's coming from because I understand where he's like his point of view. He's talking about like, oh, like
If you understand him, like,
no, I understand. I'm not agreeing with him. I understand what he's talking about though, because the way well, I'm not gonna say understand, but I feel that he's trying to say in the way that like, por decirlo, I'm a worker, you're the billionaire, right? You're putting money into this company that I work for,
yeah,
but I'm still getting paid.
You're
He
getting paid
mentioned
shit.
third world. He mentioned third
Yeah.
world, so we're talking about like South America,
Yeah,
right? So like El Salvador, I'm Salvadorian, so I know people, bro. My dad was telling me about like
they don't get paid shit.
they don't get paid shit, bro. The average fucking Salvadorian makes dollars per day,
Yeah,
not hour, not I'm gonna make $30 an hour or an average $16 an hour. Fuck no, they're talking about $16 to like $30 a week type shit, bro.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Dang,
So
goddamn
I understand where he's saying that because I feel like he's probably saying it in the sense like you're putting all this money into this company, the company isn't putting it into the worker.
yeah.
Bro, I am so
I see what
fucking
you're saying
sorry,
now.
but you can't fucking change people.
You can't
Like,
blame the investors. For that.
exactly,
That's
bro.
the company that chooses
Like,
to pay them that much.
I'm look, okay, let's put these fucking fitteds on for an example, bro. I become a fucking billionaire. I put money into these fucking fitteds. I buy fitteds. I'm making a bank. These things are growing. I have no control over what they pay their
workers.
Their workers.
Yeah.
I'm putting money into a company that's growing so I can make more money. I understand because I feel like he's just hurt over the fact that like, oh, you have all this fucking money. Why can't you give it out? Bitch, it's my fucking money. I'm sorry. But bro, if I work hard for my shit, you best believe I'm only putting in money to myself and the people around me. I'm sorry. I'm not here to save the fucking world.
I think the way he's thinking is like the billionaires or the investors are the ones that pay them directly. Like I said, I don't
Exactly.
think he understands that. Like, yeah, they give them the money, but like I said,
The
the company
company
is the one that. So like, say I give you fucking $14 million to, you know, like he said, the fucking
Produce something,
alcohol
yeah.
business. You produce me alcohol. I don't fucking know that you pay your workers 4 cents like a
Bitch,
fucking hour, dude.
I don't know Juan from fucking Honduras that works for fucking 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
I
all
don't know.
it's all through the chain of command, dude. Like even I'm pretty sure the fucking chairman don't know how much that they're paying their employees because they gotta pass that down to the people below them, and then the fucking like VPs and the presidents and all them, they gotta pass it down to managers, and then the managers, it all goes down. It's a fucking chain of command. If you have a shithead up top, or if you have somebody that just passes his responsibilities to the shithead, but the guy up top is good, that shithead is gonna pass that bullshit down to the next person. Then that bullshit goes down. It starts with one person. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the company has to make money. Otherwise, that person doesn't have a job. That's exactly why the investors are there. So instead of the company using their own money, they use the investors' money. And they can continue producing jobs. They can continue producing product and stuff like that. I don't think he fully understands how that works.
No, I think he's just getting hurt about the statements that were said, and he's just getting too deep into it, like too far into it.
The economy is rigged.
Yes, very much.
In what sense, though?
If you're born in a rich family, you have more opportunities. And as someone who is poor, living paycheck to paycheck, you're stuck having to apply to jobs and settle for things that you don't like instead of being able to follow your passions.
I agree and disagree. I agree that it's rigged to incentivize certain areas and behaviors, like we have millions and millions of farm subsidies, so it supports agribusiness. It may support one area like real estate or capital investment over labor, but I don't think it's generally rigged to basically keep the rich guy rich and the poor guy poor. That part I'll disagree. But there are certain policies like the reinvestment in productive people's hands for building real estate. I would say that's a good thing. Right?
When you say productive people, like, do you just mean people with money?
No, I mean people that actually take that money, organize people, put it to work, and create value. That's what I mean by productive people.
But who creates the value? It's the workers who create the value.
Listen, there's people who take risk and they risk their money. That's creating value. What you discount is the person willing to risk their savings, okay, and provide capital for that venture and to be paid last. So if it goes busto, the worker still gets paid, the investor doesn't. If it goes well, the worker gets paid and the investor makes money. You discount the role of capital and savings in any type of venture. Like my mom didn't want to be rich. She wanted to be a school teacher and work and do that and live in the middle ground, and that's fine. But there are people like me who want to take a lot of risk and get a lot of reward. And we put that capital to work. And you should respect that.
Yeah, I definitely think he doesn't like grasp that understanding that like, the rich guy's rich and he gets to buy this, he gets to buy that. But like he said, he doesn't take into account the fact that if I, like, going back to the example we use, if I give you this $14 million to go make me some fucking tequila or some shit, and say you're just starting out, say you're just starting out, or say you're not that, because that's the whole reason why people invest into businesses, is because that business, maybe it just started, or maybe it's growing from what it used to be, but you don't know if that growth is going to continue. So they invest to see whether or not it will, because it is at the moment.
Like he said.
So if I give you that $14 million, and for whatever fucking reason your growth stops and it just fucking goes down, I'm shit out of luck. Because you still get paid, your workers still get paid, but I'm fucked. And say I saved that money. Say I had other businesses and I wanted to invest in something else, but I saved it because I was like, oh, I see this guy, he wants 14 mil for investment in his company, for such and such percentage. Fuck it, I'm gonna save that money and I'm gonna give it to him instead of giving it to something else that I know will grow.
It's just, I feel like, I think it was his name David. David was the one who works at Disneyland, something like that.
I don't know the name. I just work here.
Bro, I'm just here. I just clocked in, bro. I'm just here for the paycheck. I feel like his understanding of rich is just like, if you got money, bro, spend it, but on shit that will make the world a better place or some shit like that. But going back to the chain that it takes, and homeboy said something right that I really strongly agree. He was all like, we're taking a risk. We're gambling our fucking money, bro. Just the way some poor people decide to go to the fucking casinos and blow their fucking money and think they're gonna fucking become a millionaire and then end up broke as shit. It doesn't work like that, bro. It's still a gamble, but they also don't understand. He said he made 33,000.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't work 24/7.
Yeah.
He gets to go home to his parents or to his wife or
Oh,
husband, family every
that's
fucking
true.
day. What
That's
did homegirl say? She lost her relationship due to lack of attention, lack of presence, because what she was focused on her bigger goal.
Yeah, and I can relate to that in a sense because, like I said, you know, I don't come from money, but I make good money now. But the amount of hours that I work, like guys, I work. Sometimes I work, you know, my 57 hours. Sometimes I work 60, like 62 or more hours. Highest I've ever worked was like 68 hours. But I do that consistently.
Weekly.
But it takes a lot of time, and then also, you know, I gotta stream. You know what I'm saying? I gotta edit. You know, I do these. You know, we do YouTube now, so I gotta edit these videos. I gotta edit videos for TikTok. All that takes time, but it's because I'm driving to up my standard of living. I'm driving because I want, like he said, I want the higher risk, high reward. And you know, I'm married. I have 2 kids, and I've definitely had that argument with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not here. You know, you don't spend enough time with the kids. But it's a lot of people forget that to get to that point in life, to get to that financial freedom,
you're gambling more than just money, bro.
Yeah, it's more than just money. It's money, it's time, it's
family,
relationships, it's family, friends. There's a lot of things that go into where they got to where they are at.
Cause like on like more a little bit just getting personal with us, like we've been friends for a while, good homies for a while. We used to work together.
Yes,
and me and homeboy literally saw each other every fucking day, would hang out every day, would hang out after work every day. And it was just like that. But both of us were in a different financial situation. Once shit changed and shit was getting better, we started noticing us just drifting. But it's not like our friendship was falling apart. It's just he was on his own shit with his family, trying to provide for them. I was on my own shit. And he noticed that. He knew that. We both knew that, and it was a mutual agreement. So it's like we both understood that shit. But it's like you guys have... Homeboy has to fucking understand that he has a blessing. That yeah, he's only making $33K a fucking year, which is for Disneyland, yeah, like low key, but that's kind of sad. But you have opportunities these rich guys.
He has that luxury.
That luxury.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing, bro. You know how I said that I was like, I'd cry in a fucking Lambo.
Yeah.
Why am I crying, bro? There's a good chance I don't have my family with me.
Yeah.
There's a good chance I don't have friends with me.
Yep.
And
there's a lot of connections.
There's a lot of connections, bro. Like, life's a fucking gamble. All of life is. But like homeboy said, it's are you willing to take the risk? Are you willing to throw everything into a fucking burning hot pot and expect you to be able to get that out? Some will. Some will fucking go in there, snatch that shit up,
you
and be
gotta
like,
do it for all the marbles, bro.
Exactly.
All the fucking marbles.
So it's like, I understand. Where he's like, oh, okay, well, you know, this isn't fair, that's not fair. But at the same time, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
No offense, but you're 20-something years old, and you work at Disneyland complaining about fucking getting $33,000.
You gotta have that
Do
hustle,
something,
man.
bro.
Exactly.
If you don't like it, get the fuck out, move on.
You have that choice.
Exactly, bro.
You might not have the opportunity, but you have the choice.
But you gotta keep in mind, bro, he's labeled as poor. 33K, sadly, probably isn't enough to like be
in
stable.
2022. Shit, that ain't nothing.
Exactly, but you know, it's still something.
It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. I wouldn't consider it poor, but
now today's standards, that's poor.
You have to have a certain level of awareness and knowledge to know the rules of the game. And I think that there are barriers put in place to kind of prevent people from knowing the rules, but I think that it's out there and you can have access to it, and it's, you know, I think that knowing the rules is different.
I know the rules, and I think they're disgusting. That's why I want to change them.
Why don't you play the game then? I mean, you can
I think they're disgusting. Why would I want to play the game?
And why the fuck are you complaining?
I can make millions of dollars.
You have the
and
knowledge.
use the
Why
exact
fucking complain if you have the knowledge and don't
tax
use
loopholes that a Donald Trump would use
Exactly.
and pay effectively no tax.
It's either beat 'em
and
or
does that
join
make
'em.
me a bad guy, or did I just study the tax code?
It makes you a bad guy, yeah.
Why?
You think so?
If you do that, yeah.
I'm following the
definitely.
law to a T.
The law is wrong. Yeah.
Why is it wrong?
Ay,
It's wrong.
ay,
I'm not-
calmado.
Just because it's law, it's always right?
No, certainly
No.
not.
No,
Certainly not.
I'm
exactly.
not saying
But
that.
that's my point.
I'm
No,
not
the
saying
law is
that,
written
but
to encourage investment, is which they want. So he's investing. So like the law is written to encourage certain things. If you disagree with it, you can go lobby and change. But he's not a bad guy.
I know you mentioned that there are barriers in place that do keep people kind of in impoverished conditions, but I don't think that we all acknowledge like the mental.
Well, that's where I was going. So if I can reflect on myself, I mean, I remember when I was living in poverty, I was just trying to survive. So I didn't even have the brain capacity to try to, or the willpower to kind of even
But you just trying to
desire to
make it to the next
access the
paycheck, huh?
rules of
Yeah.
the economy.
You're not even
But I mean, I
focused
had
on
an
learning that
epiphany,
shit.
and I
Fuck
literally
no.
woke up
You
one day and I
focus
was
on
like,
whether or not
I
you're able to pay
cannot
the
live the
fucking
rest
light
of my
bill.
Whether or
life
not
like
you're
this,
gonna be
and
able to
I
pay
don't
the
care
damn
if people
table.
call me lame, square, they're gonna question my blackness. I mean, I don't care. I'm getting
Right.
out.
Well, speaking about blackness, do you think there's a correlation between people from the African diaspora and people of color and poverty? You don't think there's like a relationship there?
It's true that, I belong to a community that makes less than certain other communities. That's true.
Significantly.
Significantly less. But you can't look at differences between groups and say it's only because of systems. Systems played a huge deal to it. I'm not discounting that at all. Like, it's a real big deal, and we're working to change that. But also, I mean, statistically, like, people from my old neighborhood and people, around in these communities, they spend about 50% more on shoes than people who are not in those neighborhoods. And it's like, man, that.
Well, not only that, Todd, but I think I looked up a recent statistic that said that Asian households, their children tend to study 13 to 15 hours a week, where in a black household, it's like 3 hours a week.
I know you said it's not like a race issue, but when you think about the way that we got here as like African people, it was a race issue. We didn't have a chance to discover America like the other people did. So I feel like how you had mentioned that Asian Americans, they study more than black households. You don't feel like those communities are kind of socialized in their
And
upbringing
change
to
it.
be more inclined to care about their finances as
Do
opposed to like
something.
African Americans, we would rather
Nah.
look rich than actually be rich. I think
That's a
part of,
parental
like,
choice.
our
It's
It's a
communities.
culture, it's a choice.
Well, it's a
It's not a-
it's I don't
To a certain extent.
Exactly.
I think it's a choice.
2021.
I think
We're not.
I do think it's a choice. I'm not going to say it's not a choice, but I'm
not a
saying,
choice.
do you feel like some people don't have the same choices
what?
as other people's in
I
different
think
communities?
some people don't have the mental capacity to allocate the energy to learn the rules of.
When you're in a position when you don't have a lot of money, you can't do a lot of things for fun, and you're often just like working. I have to survive, I have to feed myself. And so when you get that paycheck and you have just a little bit of enough money to do something that will spark joy for you, it's so hard to be like, no, I'll put it aside to save. It's like, I'll just do this one thing for myself, I'll just treat myself. And then it's like, well, now it's gone.
I
Now-
completely
yeah.
understand what you're saying, and I used to think like that too, but I also thought about how joyful it would be to be rich. I would rather not have that instant gratification, because the gratification of being infinitely stable or more stable is more important.
$15 an hour is not enough for minimum wage.
Fuck no.
For minimum wage, that
Oh,
means
but this is Cali, bro. This is they're in California.
no. But even
I did have a
throughout,
question
I
for you
think it's
two.
enough
You
for
both
minimum
mentioned that
wage.
you suffer from addiction, and that as soon
California?
as you get a paycheck, it's
No,
gone, whether it's gambling
well,
or weed
it
or shopping
depends,
or
but
whatever.
here, it'd
If
be
you
enough.
had a higher income,
Yeah, here.
would that
There,
change?
no.
Personally, yes, because the whole reason I gamble is like, let me get that $60,000 win and I'll stop gambling. That's my mindset, right? And another thing is, I feel like if I were to have like passive income, I guess you can say, or be financially stable, I can pursue and distract myself with my actual passions. Like, I want to start a true crime YouTube channel, but I don't have the laptop, I don't have the camera. The addiction takes control, so I don't think about the things I don't have, and I just feel numb and thoughtless, and I'm just enjoying my TV. And so yeah, I
But
feel
that's
like
actually,
it
like,
would
a
change.
mental
I would
thing.
be able to
Like,
have
you
other
actually have to
distractions
get
that
help
are
for that shit.
beneficial to me in a positive way.
If you had more money, you could probably have access to help, like medical help.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
psychiatrists, because that's really expensive, and you can't afford it living off of minimum wage. You know.
For me, my mindset is working minimum wage is always temporary. It's always been like, okay, we work minimum wage, but we're gonna work harder to get promoted, and then we're gonna do something else with our lives.
Many, many, many years ago, you could go live off the land. You didn't have to work for somebody in order to survive. All the land is taken, It's in federal land. You can't go fishing in these federal streams. You can't do that. So that's not possible at scale. In order to survive, you must work for someone else. That forces wages down, right? People can't just go, F you, I'm not gonna work, I'm gonna chill and work on my novel or do whatever. So that's the part where I agree with you on like, I'm a supporter of UBI so that people aren't forced to work. Now where I disagree is that we don't pay people based on what they need. And you were kind of pointing to this. I give the minimum effort if you pay me minimum wage. But there's certain jobs that are not worth $15 an hour, just frankly not worth it. Maybe they're worth 5, maybe they're worth 2. I want you to watch TV for an hour in your house and tell me how many commercials come up, because I'm doing a survey. I want to pay you $7.
I agree with what he's saying, where some jobs are not worth the amount that they pay, especially $15 an hour minimum wage. I feel like minimum wage for it's because it's hard. You can't raise minimum wage for certain jobs, but companies themselves can decide to up how much they pay for entry level positions. And when the other guy was saying, if they're paying me minimum wage, I'm gonna give minimal effort. That mindset to me is just a lazy mindset. That like, you're upset because you're getting paid a certain amount, and you don't like that, so you're not gonna work to move up. Like everybody else is, or I can't remember their names, but the ones that said that it's temporary, I'm gonna move up. That's the whole point of minimum wage, because either you haven't done that job before, or you have to get in and learn so you can move up. It's an entry level position for a reason, and that's why it has minimum wage. And I've heard the example that he's about to use. If I tell you to sit at your house, tell me how many commercials are gonna come up, and I pay you $15 an hour, that shit is not worth $15 an hour. But like I said, you can't just raise minimum wage for certain jobs, because there's so much that goes into it. Like, how many hours do they would have to look at all that shit. How many hours do these people typically work? How much physical labor do you have to put in? And you would have to do that for literally every occupation that there is, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of occupations.
I get that. Like, keep in mind, pongo decir, $15 an hour to watch commercials and count how many commercials, right? But then imagine 15 hours for 10 hours straight. $15 an hour for 10 hours straight in the beating hot sun, working, doing concrete. Or up on the roof doing roofing.
Yeah, but that's the whole reason why he said just some jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, going on to that, it's like some jobs aren't worth that minimum wage. But at the same time, it's like, bro, if you're looking for a minimum wage job, bro, that's what the fuck it is. Like, if you want to stay at that position, that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to move up from there, that's on you. If you don't like, because from my knowledge, bro, from like what my experience is, like, I'll work in this certain genre category of shit, and then leave, and then I can go to another company, work, and get $2-3 more.
Yeah.
Just for that knowledge of that year that I had it.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems, but that's a path that I'm willing to take on, because the problems that come along with not having money, I can't imagine going back there. I made it a point to position myself adjacent to people who I felt like I could learn from. I remember parking my little Chevy Cruze up off of Griffith Observatory in Hollywood Hills just to be around money.
You guys mind if I start?
Yeah, please.
A lot of the problems in my life would be solved with just, not even if I was rich, but just like a little bit more money. I would just have so much less stress and less things to worry about, and I wouldn't be finding myself in these situations where I'm worried about how am I going to pay rent, how am I going to get gas to drive, how am I going to eat.
More money, like more social responsibility, right? Going back to.
What does that mean?
Like, if you're a billionaire, then you have social responsibility to take care of people who might have less than you.
Really? I'm not seeing that In modern day life.
Billionaire beef.
In modern day life, what are billionaires doing?
I want to add real quick to what you were saying that I had my first felony when I was 14 years old. I had gotten a DUI in 2018, so I was still going in and out of courthouses. I'm struggling trying to get a job, applying, getting interviews, getting a job offer, background check, offer rescinded, and that hurts a lot. But I'm over here watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Yolanda Hadid's daughter just so happens to also get a DUI, but she's taking off in her modeling career like it was just a hiccup. I'm also seeing cases of affluenza where this kid driving his dad's truck drunk killed someone, and he gets off for affluenza, which means you're too rich to know what's good or bad, so you don't get any repercussions.
I've never.
Yeah, it was in Hollywood too.
I agree with my punishments. I messed up and I will accept it.
But you want it to be fair treatment.
Exactly, because when I see that, it's just slap in the face. Like, what is the justice system? That's not justice.
Listen, I like the song "More Money, More Problems."
I like it too.
It's jamming,
I love
but
the
song.
it's really more money, different problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a cut.
Okay.
We did it.
I was waiting for somebody to say that because that's what I was gonna say. It's not like, you know, he was saying if I had a little bit more money, you know, I wouldn't be worrying about whether or not I'm gonna pay rent. Yeah, but what problems are you getting in resolution to that problem that you just solved?
Yeah.
In life, you're gonna have problems regardless. You're gonna have either problems with, like he said, worrying about whether or not I'm gonna pay rent, or like she said, social responsibility of taking care of other people that don't have as much as you.
You have to take care of
You
yourself.
know, example
like your
as-
image.
Yeah. Or example given, your employees. If you're a billionaire, you have to take care of your employees. You have to make sure that they're paid so that your business continues to grow. Or like Homegirl said, she hasn't talked to her brother in years just because she ended up becoming a cash cow for the amount of money that she makes. You're solving problems, but then you're also receiving new ones that could I wouldn't say necessarily that they're worse than the problems that you would have when you're poor, but they can be equal to the amount of stress and anxiety and stuff that they give you, or they can be less. But either way, you're gonna get problems in resolution of solving others.
I feel like a problem ends up being I feel like a problem is considered something that you haven't encountered before. Because that's me. This is my opinion, A problem, I feel like it's a problem because you don't know the solution to it. You don't know how to fix it. You don't know what the fuck you have to do to fix it. Correct? An obstacle, or like, por decirlo, bro, whenever we would have recalls and shit, remember? At first, you were kind of like, fuck, what the fuck do I do this? Like, what the fuck? And it was a problem. Because you're like, fuck, now I'm back on hours. I'm taking too damn long. I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
Once you fucking got it, though, what?
Yeah.
You knew what to do. You knew the solution. You know what the fuck has to get done first to get to that solution.
Yeah.
Right? Their definition of, and I like what he said. He said more money, different problems.
Yeah.
Because now you're able to solve all your old problems. Them bitches ain't shit to you no more. Them motherfuckers, you're like, okay, bro, whatever. Pay rent, cool. Pay my car note, cool. Insurance, cool. But now you're in a different level. Not in a rude way, but it's like now you got different shits. Like my biggest thing, I think it was either Justin Bieber or Billie Eilish, one of the two, or probably both, or somebody else. I'm probably wrong, but they had said something about their social status, social media, just social. Billie Eilish had said it. Oh yeah, it was between them because they became famous at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about big famous. And it was like, bro, I didn't get to grow up.
Yeah.
And I had to have this certain image because of
because of who they were.
Because who they were. Exactly.
If y'all hear that, my bad. I stay right next to a highway.
But it's like, bro, you can't, like, at the same time, I feel like
you can't live life problem free.
I mean, to a certain extent, because Adam Sandler does it. Have you not seen that, man?
I'm pretty sure Adam Sandler has his own set of problems.
Yeah, like his own set of problems, bro. But like, you know, it's just like, or that whole Johnny Depp shit. Like, bro, come on, this motherfucker has bank, bro.
Yeah.
He's going through it though.
He not worrying about paying rent, but he worrying about whether or not
getting beat by his wife.
Yeah, exactly. So
like, I mean, no disrespect, but like, that's kind of fucked up. But still, it's like, bro, it's different fucking shit, and it's like, you can't ever run away from life. Life's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. Problems are a bitch. All you gotta do is stand up strong, say it is what it is, and keep running with it.
Yeah.
Because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. As whether how cringy and stupid that sounds, it's true.
Yeah.
You get to sit around and cry about everything, but you still got more problems holding on for you.
Yeah. All right, well that's gonna be it from us today, guys.
Oh yeah, man.
Like every time, man, we appreciate y'all tuning into these videos. We appreciate y'all subscribing, leaving likes and stuff like that. But like I said, I think it was 52% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed. So if you aren't subscribed and you enjoy the content, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you guys are notified the next time we upload, and hit that like button, man. That way we know whether or not you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you guys want to see us react to a certain video, make sure you guys join the Discord in the description below and send the videos that you want us to react to into the text channel labeled video recommendations. And if we end up using your video, we'll tag you in the video. You know, we'll put your little username somewhere. You know, it's over here, over there. You know, I'll figure out whatever. But we'll let everybody know that you guys recommended us that video. But yeah, man, that's gonna be all from us today. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.